So he doesn't, right? Because we watched Season 7, Episode 11, The Rye. Do you want me to start that differently?
The marble rye?
It's called The Rye.
Oh, Mandela effect. We've been calling it the marble rye.
We have. Do you want me to open differently?
No.
Let me understand. You got the hen, the chicken, and the rooster. The rooster goes with the chicken. So who's having sex with the hen?
Something's missing. Hello, Derek.
Hi, Katy.
Welcome back.
And you as well.
And also with you.
And also with you.
So.
You enjoyed your time off?
No.
Oh. Well, here we are. How'd you like this episode?
I thought I was going to love this episode.
You wrote a lot.
Up until the end of the scene where they're at the Rosses.
Oh, I thought it was going to be... I thought we were going to have the Beefarino line. And there was pre-Beefarino and post-Beefarino.
That's kind of where it happens for me, because my next note after that is people are nuts for the clip, clop, clip, clop. And that's where it starts to go downhill.
That's true.
Although that is funny. I do go nuts for the clip, clop, clip, clop. But...
Hey, Eleni, you want to come see the horsey?
I wrote that too. Did you like it?
I mean, we'll get into it. I think it was an enjoyable episode. I obviously remembered what happened with the rye, but then just before we started the episode and I read the description,
you laughed.
I laughed because I remembered what happened with Kramer and Price Club and the horse. So this episode was written by Carol Leifer. It was directed by Andy Ackerman, and it aired on January 4th, 1996. Vulture.com ranked it as the 7th best episode.
Wow.
Screen Crush had it as the 28th best episode. And IMDb gave it an 8.8 out of 10, ranking it as the 21st best Seinfeld episode and the second best Season 7 episode.
Wow. You know what? This is like an 85% episode. Like, it's really good. And then it's just not so great.
In one of the articles I was reading, there was an excerpt about this episode, and it talked about how Seinfeld can go like small and big. And so this episode, like, it went small with like the awkwardness of your in-laws meeting each other and a dinner party going poorly, and then also big moments like stealing a marble rye and throwing it up into a third-story window.
How high do you think you could throw a rye?
I could toss one. I mean, I think Jerry, he couldn't get a full, like, if there was a farting horse next to me, probably couldn't throw it as far. But
I feel like if I stood further back and I overhanded it, I could get it in the window.
Not Granny.
As opposed to underhand, because I don't think you get a lot of power underhand.
No Granny style?
No.
That's how little kids, like, when they don't have enough upper body strength to like shoot a basketball, they shoot it Granny style. Because
you think, well, 2 arms will be stronger than 1, but they're not.
But it is. They do better that way.
Yes, but I'm a grown-up. And I have a stronger throwing arm than Granny styling a rye up 3 stories.
Okay, so
this summer, the throwing of the rye.
Well, now I promised to make you a rye.
Yes.
And
a marble rye.
By the time this episode goes out, I think I will have made you the rye. And now I'm worried you're going to be tossing my rye up to our 3rd story. I'll poke my head out. What's the easiest?
The bathroom.
The bathroom window. I'll stand on the toilet, poke my head out the bathroom window, and you see if you can. What's easier, to underhand the rye up to me or to overhand it?
Can you make 2 ryes?
I can. You're gonna toss my rye. Have you seen the clip of the French
baby? I'm gonna toss your rye.
Using the clip of the French bread makers having to watch people turning their loaves of breads into bread bowls, and they're like weeping.
You've always been
that'll be me.
You've always been a great baker, and you've recently gotten really into bread since I found an ant in the store-bought bag of bread. So I would listen, if I yeeted a rye up to the 3rd floor, but it fell on the ground, I would still eat it.
But
the question is, are you going to catch it?
You would eat a rye, and you would eat an airborne rye that's landed on our construction-riddled driveway. But
5-second rule. But it's just going to bounce down, and then I would pick it up.
You made me make bread for the past 3 months because a goddamn ant was in one loaf of bread that we bought from the store that we returned. We didn't even have to eat. It's perfectly good bread from the store, but every 2 days I'm slaving over a hot oven making bread that you're eating ground bread?
Listen, the rye has a hard shell.
Why? Why does it have a hard shell? It doesn't have a hard shell.
That rye? The one that Jerry couldn't get a fishing hook through? It has a crust.
I think it's probably a rye that was baked early in the morning, and now he's picking it up at 5 to 7. So it's been sitting on a shelf out all day, so it's pretty stale.
You can't even have a bread that's 8 hours old? That's stale to you?
It's not 8 hours old. It's probably closer to I'm going to say at least 12 hours old.
So what you're saying is you should be baking bread every day because the second day it's stale.
You got to put it in a bread box.
A bread bin?
Bread box.
Oh my God. Let's talk about this episode.
Sure.
Who are the guest stars?
Oh, we haven't even done that, have we? We had a couple of returning guest stars. Heidi Swedberg playing Susan, Estelle Harris and Jerry Stiller playing Frank and Estelle Costanza. We had Warren Frost and Grace Zabriskie playing Mr. and Mrs. Ross. However, a couple of new people. We had Jeff Yeager playing John Germain.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Aeon Flux, V, the original from 1984, as well as Cradle to the Grave with Jet Li.
He had a weird face.
He had weird hair. It was very...
It was like parted at the side, but there was a lot of like baby hairs in the coming down from his part.
You see an attractive man?
No. It's very forceful. Okay.
We had Frances Bay play Mabel Choate.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Happy Gilmore, Blue Velvet, and Big Top Pee-wee. Those are kind of the main guest stars, but you perked up with
I recognize the music executive.
So the music executive was played by Steve Ireland.
Oh.
I tried to guess what he was in. So he was on 6 episodes of Friends. So maybe from that.
That doesn't ring a bell.
He was in an episode of That's So Raven.
No.
And he was in an episode of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. Where he
Have you ever ridden your bicycle over a pothole?
He played a character whose name was Dr. David Blauschild in the episode The Stalker.
Maybe he just looks like somebody else.
It's possible. Why don't you read the synopsis?
Frank and Estelle meet Susan's parents for the first time. Kramer feeds a horse the wrong food. Jerry shops for a marble rye. Elaine dates a saxophonist. The episode opens with Elaine at the saxophonist's show. What's his name? Jake Jarmusch?
John Germain.
John Germain. And her inner monologue is, he's so cool. Maybe he'll write a song about me. Oh, Elaine, you are so beautiful. You are so, so beautiful.
Is that what women want?
I mean, I wouldn't want a saxophonist to do anything to me. I wrote down, saxophone.
You famously do not like saxophone jazz.
At the end, the tag at the end, where he's back playing his showcase for the record company guy, I wrote down, that's how all sax music sounds to me all the time. I really dislike it.
I guess if saxophonists just could stop, maybe you'd like their music.
You know what? I don't think they're getting any.
So I did not remember. I don't think I picked up on that. And then even while we were watching this episode, I was like,
not sure.
Was it just about sex that he didn't want to do, or was it about?
No. Elaine makes it clear that he's sponge-worthy, which I guess maybe means that they haven't done it yet. But then she does say he doesn't really like to do everything.
Right.
And
so I think probably as a naive, 14-year-old, I was probably like, oh, that doesn't mean he doesn't like to go all the way.
Because there's only, that could only be one thing. If a woman saying that. No, it's not like he doesn't like to whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
What does Jerry say about musicians? They're adventurous and uninhibited.
Yeah.
Side note, what did you think of Elaine's jacket in this scene?
It was so weird. It had a big flap on the back, like a sailor suit.
Yeah, it was weird, huh?
It was weird. I took note of it. It would have been better if it was a full cape.
I kind of thought it was like a little quarter cape at first.
No, just a dumb sailor flap. Kramer, so I'm, not a big Kramer fan, but his Price Club run, I did laugh a lot. I just came from the Price Club. I'm loaded up, baby.
I have a feeling you're going to be saying that all the time.
Every single time. Tomorrow morning when I come back. I'm loaded up, baby. 34 cans of beefaroni are coming your way.
When was the last time that you had
pasta?
Pasta with meat sauce.
I can't think of a time. I'm sure I've tried it, but that's the kind of thing that I would have tried just to see what it's like.
It's like incredibly mushy pasta, meat that feels like it's...
I used to ask for zoodles or whatever the thing was. And my mom was like, fine, I'll buy you zoodles. And she made it. And I was like, I don't like this.
I can't remember why, but I asked our kid recently if she had ever had ravioli. She was like, I don't know what that is. They originally, in the script, had him buying Chef Boyardee.
Oh.
And Chef Boyardee did not approve the usage of the Chef Boyardee brand and its negative connotations for what it would do to horses.
Wait a minute. When you said Chef Boyardee, I said, oh, wait, I like that, but I'm thinking of Hamburger Helper.
Oh. I don't think I've ever had Hamburger Helper.
I just like those noodles. I don't know.
They're just like egg noodles, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I've had Chef Boyardee.
You never had Chef Boyardee? Like a can of pasta and meat sauce?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like I said, if I've had it, it was just for curiosity's sake. I don't remember. I'm surprised you have. Like my dad's favorite meal to cook when it was just the two of us was the can of meal. Can of beans, can of peas, can of corn.
Say that again. Can of what? Can of beans, can of peas, can of corn?
Yeah. Like Heinz beans in sauce.
Oh, I was picturing
not green beans.
No, I was picturing black beans or kidney beans.
No, like beans in sauce.
Okay.
That's a normal thing. Just plain black beans. No.
And then green peas?
Yeah. And corn.
That seems like you're just trying to make beans healthier.
Yeah.
Like baked beans. Healthier. With toast?
Yeah. Jerry when he goes out to Kramer's car, he says, this isn't for a person, it's for Biosphere 3.
It's a big can of tuna.
But Kramer's right. He's buying non-perishables. There's no reason, 34 cans of beefaroni is a bit much.
Those were larger than average cans.
Those are restaurant. What restaurant would serve them, I don't know, but yeah.
So I think that, Costco definitely had this reputation of you were saving because you were buying volume, but you would buy one big can of whatever. And now they've gotten smarter and it's you get a 6-pack of regular size stuff.
Yes. You can still get a big old tub of mayonnaise, which I'm always tempted by.
Unless you go to the restaurant Costco or the business Costco.
Business center. Do you want to go to the business center?
No.
Are we allowed?
Yeah, anybody with a regular thing can go.
I kind of want to go.
just go and look around, get a pallet of
Olive oil.
No, you gotta buy small amounts in
I'm going to make the
containers.
classic Costco mistake at the Costco with getting something that's non-perishable, except that I'm getting more than I could ever use in my lifetime. So George is at his parents' house. They're getting ready to go meet the Rosses.
Thin tie.
I love this episode because it has Estelle and Frank in it. And Estelle's saying, they're wearing wide now. Go to any building on 7th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
The hell out of here, 7th Avenue.
I think he should wear whatever tie he wants.
I did laugh when Elaine gets mad at Jerry for revealing that they're hot and heavy to the guy's bandmate. She's like, I'm trying to entice a little squirrel. I don't want to do any big sudden movements.
If she's already dating the guy, or is this is this directly in response to the...
I think you have to stop saying that. Yeah, I'm assuming she's trying to entice him to do everything.
Mm.
Maybe she means have we thought of that?
So, like, even at the end, I think I remember as a kid being like,
why does his mouth hurt?
No, I think at the end, it was just like they had sex finally, and it was like sex that he didn't want to go all the way, and he was like so shocked from the sex, and then now watching it as an adult, I'm like, oh no, it's because his mouth hurts.
Yeah,
but
and she says you don't have to try so hard.
Well, like try so hard at being good at sex.
That's what a 14-year-old would think.
But in the two, in both Vulture.com's synopsis and Screen Crushes, they both like make reference that it's like about. So I guess canonically, it's about, and not as you so eloquently put it.
What is that, like a little chicken?
How hard can it be to kill this thing?
I also laughed out loud when they're leaving and he says, who doesn't serve cake after a meal?
You have to have something for the tooth.
That's what I wrote.
Yeah, I know you too well. So there was also a little section in one of the articles I wrote about how this is the dichotomy of Jews versus Gentiles and, you know, upper class, snobby New Yorkers versus this like lower working class. So
cake is for the lower classes?
Well, no, the upper class are like, well, we don't serve cake because we just drink coffee, and the lower class is like, oh, you gotta have cake after dinner. And the upper class, somebody was like, Jewish people eat and Jewish people eat and Gentiles drink.
Oh,
so we never seeing like Mrs. Ross without a.
True. Is she pouring vodka into a water bottle before they go on their, or is she actually drinking water?
She made a whiskey water, and you can see her with a highball glass.
I saw the glass, but I also thought she was like fussing with a water bottle to bring some with her.
No, you gotta, it's like, you know, whiskey and like water, and that way you stay hydrated.
Okay. So I'm quite comfortable being in the, you have to have cake after a meal.
Oh, especially like a dinner party.
Oh, yeah. And how do you not serve anything?
Come on, Rowena.
Yeah, jeez.
You gotta fire that staff, even after she makes a delicious game bird.
A rye bread doesn't just disappear.
I'm pretty sure I've read like Reddit, Am I the posts, like, I went to a dinner party and they didn't serve my food, and I took it home, and they're saying,
what do you think?
You leave it, yeah.
You leave it. I think 100% you leave whatever you bring. You don't, unless somebody's like pushing it on you to take it. I think I already mentioned how I went to like a big party with beer, and then it wasn't cold, so I had other beer, and then I took my beer back at the end of the night. So
one thing that I think is sometimes awkward is when you're having a dinner party, often people will bring wine.
And then somebody goes and butt chugs it.
That would be awkward. However, I wasn't going to bring that up. I'm more thinking of like, usually have wine open, and then you're like, oh, should we open the one that you brought? And they're like, oh no, that was a gift for you guys to enjoy. And it's like, no, like we should all enjoy it together. Like it's.
I think you do exactly what you said. And if someone says, no, it's a gift for you, and you say, okay. And then you like you don't argue it. You communicate.
Mm.
You're saying like, oh, I'd like to open the bottle you brought. Sure. Then it's open. No, it's for you. Then it's not open.
Fine.
Very simple. I like when Elaine is sort of desperately talking to Jerry in his apartment. She goes, something is going to happen to you. It has to. And he goes, nah, I'm going to be just fine.
Jerry's kind of like slipped into this like secondary character in this like half of season 7.
I think that's where he belongs. He's perfect in that role.
I was trying to think of when was the last time that he dated someone in one of these episodes. Like when it was like him needing to, I guess in the Sponge episode, which was somewhat recent. Maybe it's because we skipped a week. That feels longer than it actually is. But
what does he do in the Sponge?
He's dating that woman who he got her name from the AIDS walk list.
Yes.
And she...
Right. I was thinking of George needing the sponge, but also, yes, Jerry and the woman with the sponges. Gotcha. I wrote down something that the saxophonist says when Elaine goes to talk to him. He says, I've been thinking about what we do.
I want to add a new move to my repertoire.
Who talks like that?
I don't know. Who talks about any of this stuff?
No.
I guess I should also mention that although Jerry's kind of slipped into a secondary role, he might do the most despicable thing that he does the entire series, mugging a woman, essentially. But maybe these events will come back to haunt him.
Anytime I fart from now on, I'm going to say, Rusty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that I didn't find these farts very funny.
I think because there was no sound. Like maybe they didn't think they could get that past the censor. Or it was too blue.
Alluding to fine. A horse farting. Absolutely not.
That's fair. Yeah, that's we found the line. Maybe the censor thought it was just about he was abstinent and
yeah. So I have a bit of a correction on the fly. I know in New York they refer to these as hansom cabs, and in this episode they call them hansom cabs. I did some cab research.
Okay.
Hansom cab in every example I could find has the driver at the back, like standing over the place where passengers would sit to drive the horse. And the cabs in Central Park and the one that Kramer is driving, the driver's right behind the horse, and then the people are behind the driver.
Yeah, it's like a horse and wagon. Right.
So that is more like a hackney carriage than a hansom cabriolet.
But hackney carriage doesn't sound...
But I think in New York they call them hansom cabs.
Oh, okay. It's
so
like
I thought
regional thing. It's like
yeah,
Taylor ham.
Oh, like a what? Taylor ham?
Yeah.
What's a Taylor ham?
Taylor ham, it's like a pork roll. You don't know about New Jersey Taylor ham and pork roll?
Apparently not.
There's a meat stuff thing made. It's like a processed pork product.
Okay.
And in some regions in New Jersey they call it pork roll, and in some regions they call it Taylor ham.
Well, there you go. It's totally a Taylor ham scenario.
Yeah. Okay.
Not being a ham fan, I'm not well versed in these things.
This is like a breakfast ham. Like it's like something you'd serve with like eggs. Like you'd like take a slice of pork roll and fry it up a little bit. It's kind of like scrapple. It's not like scrapple at all. Actually, that's wrong.
I think I would prefer scrapple.
Scrapple's like head cheese with cornmeal.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Ham, however, disgusting.
I don't know why.
Sweaty, salty, sweet. Wrong.
The picnic ham that like you're thinking of, I'm thinking of like a you buy a piece of pork and you brine it and then smoke it and serve it.
Okay.
The nice glaze.
You're introducing a new term. What is a picnic ham?
That's like the ham that you bought, like a very processed.
I bought the wrong ham.
It's like the ham you grew up with. It's the ham on everybody's table.
A salty, bloody ham.
Yeah. I don't know why you don't like it. It's tasty.
Both your daughter and I had to cut the edge off because it's so chewy and rubbery
That's what I'm
and
saying.
sweet
That's a picnic
and
ham.
nasty. Ugh.
We get a good ham.
I've yet to see one.
I'm going to make marble rye
Mm-hmm.
and a ham.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to toss it.
In the
Get into
trash.
the third story window. Yeah, I don't know. You got anything else?
Mm-mm.
I mean, yeah. George gets a voiceover.
Yep. That seems to be a thing.
Seemed to, like, I don't know, like, kind of unnecessary.
Jinx. I guess I kind of laughed when he fished the rye in and he's holding it up like a fish. I don't know. This is like, you forgot to write an ending.
I think it's like, it's an ending where you're like, the final, like, still image is a funny scene, but I think it works fine. I think it's all right.
Okay. We couldn't remember what Simpsons episode Chesty LaRue and Busty St. Clair were from. It was from season 10, episode 13, Homer to the Max. I can't remember why he was at the courthouse, but Homer says to Marge, while I was at the courthouse, I had them change your name. To what? Chesty LaRue. Chesty LaRue? Just try it for 2 weeks. If you're not completely satisfied, you can be Busty St. Clair. I don't want to be Chesty LaRue or Busty St. Clair. And he says, fine, Hootie McBoob it is.
Hootie McBoob.
On Married with Children, actress Gloria Leroy played a character named Chesty LaRue. The episode was called Live Nude Peg.
Okay. Maybe you should watch that after Seinfeld.
I don't know if I could make it through Married with Children again. I did watch a lot of it. Wasn't allowed.
That was not allowed either.
But it was on after The Simpsons
Possibly.
at 7:30-ish.
Something like that.
Yeah. And we were talking about nervous breakdowns. So the reason it's not used, it's not a medical term or a diagnosis. It doesn't describe a specific condition. Yeah, that's why. So next week we are watching The Katy.
Yeah. The Katy with Armin,
Tanzarian?
No. The guy that played Quark on DS9. He's in it. He's the Katy.
Okay.
And we get a pop culture reference. We get, I think, I've been thinking about this episode actually for a while. Because whoever wrote this predicted women's fashion in 2024.
Okay.
And Sue Ellen Mishke is in it.
Is that the actress or the character?
That is the character.
Okay.
She's the heiress to the O'Hare Bar Millions.
Okay.
And maybe I'm wrong on all of this and it's like going to blow up in my face.
I was going to say, okay, Netflix synopsis. Just tell us the whole thing.
I don't want to blow it away. Jerry and Kramer get into a car accident because Kramer is distracted. That's how I'll leave it.
Okay. Can't wait. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Close Talkers, co-created by Catherine and Derek Shaw, part of the Pork and Jeans network of podcasts. Like, subscribe on your favorite podcast app.
Pork and Jeans?
I don't know. I just made something up. It was our fake record label in high school. Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?